bit of a risky business, this heart stuff. But time to tackle the list. Welcome back. Last time I talked about the 10 risk factors that you can do something about to prevent a heart attack, and the 3 that you can't. Actually, I realised after filming that I'd only covered 9 of the risk factors. So let's have a recap. They are, I'm going to count them this time so I don't mess up: smoking, don't smoke; high blood pressure, which was the one that I missed off; high cholesterol; diabetes; chronic renal impairment; obesity; unhealthy eating patterns; lack of activity or exercise; stress and tension; and excess alcohol. There you go, all 10. The other 3 are relating to age, family history, and your gender. So not a lot I can do about those. My score was 7 of the 10. So that was a 70% chance of having a heart attack, which isn't great. Given my weight issues, that perhaps should be 80%, seeing as though everyone is so shocked that I'm not diabetic. It's been 15 months since the heart attack. Today, my risk score is 1 in 10, so 10% chance, which, as you can see, is a massive difference from that 70 or 80%. Each of the episodes that I've done so far have been covering the journey to get to where I am now. And this brings me to why I started to do these films. There is no cardiac rehab where I am, pardon me. And I couldn't find anybody like me online. There are apparently a couple of local heart attack survivor groups, and despite contacting them a couple of times, I never heard back. Now, I'm pretty savvy with looking for things, so I figured that if I couldn't find things, then others might not be able to as well, who might be in a similar situation to me. Writing and recording these films has given me an outlet to share what I'm doing without boring the hell out of people. Well, people I know. Not that there are many people I talk to. People have their own lives. And I know that these films are not an easy watch. They're not easy to record either. But it's about a part of my life that was quite dark and very lonely. If I was going through all of this, then I wanted to document it. It took me a long time to pluck up the courage to start. Who the hell would want to watch me? I was scared. I was nervous. But if I could possibly help another person like me out there who was scared and looking for help, then that would be good, right? And not just professional help, but help from someone who'd gone through it, who also felt scared and isolated, and at times wondered, should I actually be alive? Should I be here? And you do question all these things. You know, it has been a struggle, and there have been times when the tears have flowed quite readily. Friends are otherwise occupied, and I didn't really have anybody to lean on. Looking after myself was my number one priority, and health issues that I hadn't worried about gave me cause for concern. But I didn't want it to disable me. These films have given me the opportunity to talk about a pretty scary event in my life without judgment. Well, apart from the dislikes and occasional negative comment. But life is ever evolving. So whilst I will keep on with these regular episodes, taking you on the journey to better health, I want to post about more current things that are going on in my world. I want to share the joyous things that I get up to, so that you can see that I am actually living life and not just wallowing in the past at a period that was negative. And life is about living. And thanks to that quick thinking man, I am living. Anyway, I digress. Back to my risk score. I take my tablets religiously without fail, thanks to my little pill pots and daily reminders. So that covers high blood pressure and cholesterol. By making a very simple adjustment to take my freaking meds on time, straight after the heart attack, I brought my score down to 50%. Wow. Next thing I felt was a top priority was exercise. If I couldn't walk and something were to happen to me, then I would die in this chair. And personally, a gaming chair from IKEA was not my preferred location to breathe my last breath. I'd left the hospital unable to walk more than a couple of steps. Every bit of me hurt, and whilst I had painkillers prescribed, I didn't want to become reliant on them. The steep stairs in the house gave me a daily challenge, and I was determined to get the commode out of the corner of the room. Just looking at it made me feel old. I wasn't ready to have such a thing in my life, and even though I put a blanket and a cushion on it, I knew it was still there. Not sure why I was hiding it. It wasn't like my door was being knocked out by an endless stream of visitors. I wished it was. So, let's talk about movement and exercise. It's at times like this that I wished I'd been doing my channel then, because you can't see the difference of where I was. Physically, my feet were swollen and looked purple. My ankles were huge and I could barely put my shoes on. Even bending to put my shoes on hurt. Twisting them around hurt. Every step I took hurt. Standing up from sitting position hurt. I'm saying hurt a lot. You get my point. I couldn't cross my legs. Just the thought of sitting on the floor and getting up from there filled me with horror. To try to give you a better picture, in the May, we went up to Scotland, and Jules took me to see this lighthouse that he'd taken a picture of previously. See? Isn't it lovely? This is the Stora Lighthouse, which is on the west coast of Scotland. And as you can see from the map, it's pretty far north. We parked up at the car park on a glorious spring evening, and he wanted me to walk up there, but I couldn't. I desperately wanted to, but I was in too much pain to do it, even dosed up on codeine. It was just 298 meters and I couldn't do it. That sounds really pathetic. He had taken me to this wonderful place, and this ungrateful cow couldn't walk. We had words, and he was understandably angry with me and annoyed, and I was frustrated. But in a camper van, you can't flounce off to another room to calm down. He put on his coat to walk up there, and still upset, I did the same. I was going to be the one to flounce, not him. He wasn't going without me, pain or not. So I struggled out of the van and walked 10 steps. Then I stopped and counted to 10. And then I did another few steps until I reached the front of the building. I stood there and cried. Tears of joy for having done it. And upset tears because I felt pathetic. It was such a short distance, after he'd driven me all the way up there as well. I wish I could go back there now and see how many minutes it would take me to walk those 298 metres. But Jules is busy with other things, so we won't be going back there, which makes me sad, but maybe one day, eh? So, you get the picture of where I was physically. I was a mess, but I had to start moving. But I was scared to move. What if I did something wrong? What if I had to put too much pressure on my heart? It wasn't like I was in Wales with someone else around me in case anything happened. What if I did something and couldn't get help? All these thoughts were going through my head. I phoned the cardiac nurse at the hospital, and she sent me out some photocopied sheets of paper with exercises on them. That was the extent of my cardiac rehab exercises locally. That was all well and good, but I needed to understand what was safe. I needed to feel safe before I could do these. Didn't answer my questions. What if my heart was racing? Yes, I had my GTN spray seat, never from my side. But I couldn't keep spraying it under my tongue every 5 minutes. I repeat, what was safe? I really did need this cardiac rehab to find out what my body was capable of. So I picked up the phone and called the one number that would give me the answer. And if you look at an earlier film which I've done, you will see that I did achieve my goal. What I'm going to do in the next episode is tell you how this lump who couldn't move did it. It can be done. Join me on the next episode of my heart journey when I look at how I do my own version of cardiac rehab. If you like what I'm doing, then it would be great if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share with anyone you think may find this interesting. Also, if you ring the bell, you'll get notifications when I upload my next video.